Hi, everybody. I'm here with the miserable liberal, Steph Zamorano and Ron Placone.
I'm miserable.
Howdy, howdy.
So guess what? They had a vote yesterday to repeal some Barack Obama environmental regulations that would limit methane releases into around fracking. So they wanted to repeal it because that's what Republicans do. You know, the Democrats are horrible sellouts to corporations, but they still do. Sometimes they still do put like reasonable regulations on for pollution. And but, you know, the Republican Party doesn't even acknowledge global warming or climate change or anything scientific. They don't even like science. So I mean, that's not a joke, right? So here, John, get this. So they tried to pass this bill to repeal Obama-era regulations. But look at this. John McCain may have killed it over spite over the Comey firing. Isn't this something?
John McCain, man.
So the legislation would have repealed an Obama-era rule designed to prevent methane emissions from leaking out of drilling operations on public lands. Brought under the Congressional Review Act, the resolution only needed 50 votes to pass the Senate. 50. After repeatedly passing the House along party lines, but it failed by one vote. Look at that. 51 to 49. I know that's two, but it just needed one vote to flip it to 50-50, and then it would have passed because the vice president. Bam. 3 Republicans voted against repealing the methane rule, which was backed by the president. The 3 Republicans are Lindsey Graham and Susan Collins from Maine, and they had previously stated that they weren't going to repeal it. So they'd already been on record, but they still had enough votes to pass it. So that's why Mitch McConnell brought it to the floor.
Oops.
And John McCain had a little hissy fit, and he goes against the Republicans. And against the big oil donors, by the way. Fossil fuel donors. Why? Because he's mad about Trump. So this is what he said right before he made the vote. He was on TV, and this is what John McCain said on the TV. He said, when you fire arguably, the most respected person in America, we all know that's Oprah. It's not James. James Comey can't hold a candle to Oprah. The most respected person in America, it's got to be Oprah.
How many cars did James Comey give out?
You get an investigation, and you get an investigation, and you get an investigation. He said, when you fire the most respected person in America, you better have a very good explanation. So far, I haven't seen that. So he's upset, and he didn't want to go along with them. In fact, here is a little bit of video ski, and I put it big so you can see. Now, I want you to look over here. That's John McCain, and that's John Cornyn right next to him. And they're arguing over the bill. They want John McCain to vote yay. Now, there's a guy right over here. He's waiting for John McCain to tell him how he's waiting to record the vote. So they're just waiting for John McCain's vote. They just need him to vote, and then it passes. So now let's watch. He's going to be like in an argument with them, and then he's going to point to this guy and give him his vote. Ready? Here we go. So you can see him. You see Johnny McCainsey. There he is right there. There's Johnny McCainsey. And they're having a little bit of a heated back and forth, and he's a little upset. He's also arguing with this guy, but you see him being upset. But this is bullshit, and I can't believe you're going along with this president, and we should oppose him, and he's undermining our democracy. This is unprecedented, and you are going to go along. I'm not going to vote for this. I won't vote for this. No, I'm saying, in fact, if you guys keep going along with Trump, I'll tell you, watch. I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to point at this guy right now, thumbs down. So that's what he did. He pointed at the guy, thumbs down, and here's what the guy says.
Mr. McCain, no.
So there's John McCain. Isn't that nice?
John
Dave Dayen
McCain.
did that. Dave Dayen caught that.
Man, every now and again, John McCain has like a moment of clarity. You know, like he was like the only Republican to vote against the Telecommunications Act of 1996.
He did that?
Yeah, he was like the only Republican to vote against it. Like every now and again, he just has this moment where you're like, oh, John McCain?
He's also
That's why they call him a maverick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a maverick, and he also was the only guy who chose Sarah Palin. So he has that going for him.
Yeah, he did vote against the telecommunications.
No, I'm
And
saying
then-
moments, like random moments
and
where you're
then
like, whoa, wait, he did that? Like out of character moments.
He definitely balanced it out by inflicting Sarah Palin on the country.
Yeah.
He definitely balanced out.
I'm not
and
saying
he-
I want to marry the guy. I'm saying every now and again, there's a moment where you're like, whoa.
I can see Russia.
So look at this. I mean, I did. I had a feeling that before the election that if Trump got elected, he would be bad for the Republican Party, and he's bad for the Republican Party. He's already the least popular guy in history, and they can't even get people to go along with it. They couldn't even look at all the problems they're having passing the basic legislation. They can't even get a health care bill. They can't. Anyway, so I think this is good news. Good to see them not be able to do that. It's good to see Trump actually pissing off members in his own party so much that they won't go along and ruin the environment.
That's how mad they are.
And I'll make this prediction right now that the Democrats will regret the day if he resigns or gets impeached before the next election. They're going to miss him because he's an incompetent, and he's not an ideologue. I don't think he cares about anything. And what they're going to do is get rid of him, a guy who's constantly making the Republicans look bad, and they're going to replace him with a much more mainstream, easygoing, a guy who knows how to get horrible stuff done, Republican. They'll have Mike Pence, and who's he going to pick for his vice president? Probably Dick Cheney. Wouldn't that be great? See Dick Cheney back in the White House?
That'd be a duo.
Or a Dick Cheney-like person. So be careful what you wish for. Just like with James Comey, all the Democrats wanted him fired up, right up until Trump fired him. I think the way you get rid of Trump is in the next election. And you can't run a status quo corporatist against him. I mean, you can. You could lose again, because if the election happened again right now, he'd beat Hillary Clinton again. So the only thing worse than the Republicans is that the Democrats are the people who are supposed to oppose them. Good on you, John McCain. Maverick. The next live Jimmy Dore show in Burbank, California is May 22nd. May 22nd, that's a Monday night, live in Burbank, California. Special guests, a great time. Get your tickets right there.